Last week we sailed from the Big Island to Oahu in Hawaii to meet up with visitors from Sweden. The passage was full of problems, mishaps and mistakes, but we made it safe and sound to Honolulu, the capital in Hawaii.
So we're at the Aloha dock in Honolulu, and today we're going to move the boat to the State Harbor, hopefully. We haven't talked to them yet, but we've been told that it's best to just go over there with the boat before you talk to them, because otherwise you'll have to wait many days before you get your spot in the marina. So we take our chances and we're going to move the boat from this place where we stayed the weekend. It's a really nice place, this yacht club, but it's too expensive to us. It's like $60 a night, and they don't have any discount for longer stays, so that's why we need to move the boat. Our boat in the State Marina is $8 per night, so pretty big difference. So we really hope that they have a spot available for us, because when we call them from Hilo, we got different answers every time we called, and you couldn't book anything. And the last thing they told us was that there was no slip available, and that is really not true, because when we've been walking around here, there's like at least 50 spots available in the marina, and everybody we've been talking to here says that the State Harbor here isn't very well managed. So I hope they will not be too grumpy with us just showing up on their temporary dock that they have over here outside the marine office. But everybody we've been talking to say that that's the way to do it, just to show up. Otherwise it will take forever to get your spot.
As soon as the marina office opened, we went inside and asked for a slip. We got one right away and found out that the price was $15 per day for the boat and $2 per person per day. We moved around to our slip where we moored her and then went back to the office to do the paperwork. Now we're getting ready to go to the harbor office special dock to have our inspection. So we will get cleared so we can stay in this marina. So we have prepared everything down below for the inspection. Put all these things that they want to see, we put it on the table. Now we're gonna loose the lines and hand over there. It's just over here. It's gonna be pretty interesting. And then after the inspection we need to exit the marina, go out to the first buoy or buoy and round that. When we have rounded, we're gonna call them, let them know, and then we can go in again and more in our slip. Yeah, there's a first time for everything, right?
And this is the stuff that you need to show. The PFDs, that they are up to date. You need to have a horn or some way of signaling. I think it's okay with like a whistle as well. And that the flares are up to date. Also this book. You need to have this. The navigation rules for United States. So, and you also need to have these stickers that we have down here. There's one over here. It's it's basically saying that it's forbidden to discharge oil into the water, and that should be around where you control the bilge pump from, which is here, länspump in Swedish. So that needs to be there, and also over here in the galley we need to have a waste management plan placard or sticker, and yeah, this is what you're not allowed to do or what's prohibited. That also needs to be on a placard. So we have those. We got them for free from West Marine. They're not very beautiful, but they do the job. And something else, Malin?
We also needed to buy an American certified fire extinguisher, since our other ones are from Europe. Just crossing fingers, or vi håller tummarna as we say in Swedish, that will pass this inspection now. Alawai Boat Harbor is a state-owned recreational marina, and because of that we needed to comply to their rules of making a special inspection and buoy run to be allowed to stay in the marina. The inspection went fine and the harbor captain approved our gear. And he also checked the bilge, the engine, the heads and our lanterns. Last thing to do before being able to settle down in the marina was the buoy run. They want to see that you have a functioning engine, so we went out to the first buoy and called them on the phone since they don't have a VHF radio.
Hello, this is Johan on sailing the vessel Ron. We're just outside the harbor doing the sea trials.
Buoy run.
And around buoy number 1. So yeah, we did. So can we just return to the marina now? Alright, thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Good to go?
Yeah, now we're good to go back. Going fishing on a surfboard. Almost.
With an outboard engine
Yeah.
mounted.
Wow, there's some big surf today. Look at that.
This will be a perfect place for us now, when we have lots of visitors coming from Sweden, and as we prepare the boat for Alaska and Canada. Honolulu is a huge city. It's easy to get things sent here. It has all the stores we need, marine stores, hardware stores, and big supermarkets.
Today I'm going to work on the mast. We've been having a lot of problems with water coming through on the inside of the mast down into the boat, because we have a mast that's going through the deck down to the keel. There is a sealing plate or some type of foam that Sheldon had put inside the mast, but it seems like this foam that Sheldon has put into the mast is not it's not watertight. So when there's heavy rain, there's water running inside of the mast and down into the keel and eventually into the bilge. And I will try to make a solution to try to stop that. I will plug the old drain holes that we have here and drill a couple of new ones a bit higher up, and I will make a layer of epoxy above this foam, and hopefully that will stop the leaks. There is actually a kit that you can buy from Sheldon that does more or less the same thing, The only question I have is why don't they put that in when the mast is new? Would have saved me a lot of work and problems, because we bought this mast new from Selden in 2015 before we left Sweden. So this is the drainage holes. So the water that is inside the mast are supposed to drain through these holes. This one, there's one in the front and one on the other side. But as you can see, the foam in here has expanded a bit, and it doesn't work very well. And there's water bypassing this foam down into the bilge. So that's why we'll try to stop this. So I will tape these holes, drill a new hole above these, and I will fill this area up with this epoxy to try to make a layer of epoxy inside. One mistake I think a lot of people do when they try to seal their mast is that they use this foam inside the mast that are used in the building industry to insulate stuff around doors and windows. Even if the surface on this foam is watertight, over time it will break down and it will be full of moisture and water, and I don't think that's nice. You'll get corrosion inside of the mast because it's holding water all the time, and it's really hard to get it out of there once you have put it in there. So don't use that. Use epoxy or buy a kit from Selden or like this, like an epoxy it's made to have water on it. So the idea with this is that the epoxy layer will be just up to the bottom of the holes that I drill. So any water that will come down on the inside of the mast should drain directly out to the deck, so there won't be any water standing on top of the epoxy. And that's another thing if you do this with foam inside, it won't be an even surface. It will be, don't use that. You will regret it. Actually, my last boat, the last owner, he had done that, and that was not very good. When I took that out, there was a lot of corrosion on the inside of the mast. So I will use an epoxy filler called Gluvit for this. It's just a 2-component epoxy. I think you can use any type of epoxy, it's nothing special. But this one is especially for hidden leaks and cracks, so I guess it's pretty runny. Yeah, I guess I will start to drill the new holes in the mast. Never fun, but it's so low down to the deck, so it doesn't affect the integrity of the masting. After the mast, I seal the leaks on the floor by the windlass. Our first guest to visit us was my friend Andreas. It's not his first time staying on a boat. He actually helped me sail back my first boat to Sweden after my trip to the Caribbean in 2001. He had never sailed before, and we got into some really gnarly weather during the passage, where Qeeo, the boat, surfed in 18 knots down a huge wave in a storm between Bermuda and the Azores. Här är 5500 meter djupt. Så jag tror att jag slår huvudet i botten i alla fall.
Så jävligt kallt.
Det är typ lite snäckor om något som bort.
Så jävligt kallt där ska det vara. Today we're going to the volcano just outside Honolulu, Diamond's Head. And we're taking the bus.
Are you sure about that?
No.
Please hold on.
Let's see where we end up.
The hike starts from the inside of the 500,000-year-old crater and follows the crater walls up to the top. The interior of the volcano was the first United States military reservation in Hawaii. It was a pretty exhausting hike under the warm sun, but the panoramic view over Waikiki was so rewarding.
One of these is smaller from Molly.
Yeah?
I'm not sure which one. It probably is that one.
So we're at the Electric Beach, it's called.
Yeah. And that's obviously electric power plant.
Yeah.
Where the current is off the water?
Yeah, we saw it.
Oh, you already told all that?
And what are we gonna do?
We're going to dive. And yeah, you see the coolant water from the electric plant coming out there. So I guess that's part of the reason that this is a good dive site, right?
Yeah, you get the warm water from the plant.
Yeah. So this will be cool. It's been a while since we dove the last time. Last time was in Colombia.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Me too.
It's feels a bit rusty.
Yeah.
All the hands, and now it's not bars, it's not meters, it's feet and PSI. but
But they will help us.
yeah,
And of course it's always different because you're in a new spot, you don't know it. But it's gonna be fun.
yeah, it's going to be cool. And,
Don't know though what I'm gonna do if you see a
shark.
This is important.
It will be cool. I hope we see some
Hope we
sharks.
see a lot of turtles. That's this one. This one.
Here's at 24.
Okay. Dan is an avid sailing enthusiast and one of our followers. He and his wife Heidi loves diving and invited us to come and dive with them. Electric Beach is situated on the west coast of Oahu, and the outlet from the power plant attracts a lot of fish, turtles, and sometimes you can see the endangered Hawaiian monk seal and dolphins here. We know that our masks fog up easily, but believe us, we've tried everything. On the second dive, we went to the shark caves. Normally there's a couple of white-tipped reef sharks hanging out here, but not today. Every Friday, the Hilton Hotel at Waikiki Beach throws a big fireworks show. Mahalo for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. Stay tuned for next week's episode. Aloha!